to USAID's Kenyan Investment Mechanism Year 3 Learning Event. We're broadcasting from here in Nairobi, and we are thrilled to bring together today and over the next 3 days our implementing partners, financial institutions, private equity and social impact investors, business advisory service providers, small and medium-sized enterprises, government stakeholders, and of course our private sector partners. It was exciting for me to see over 300 registrations for this event. I am Roger Bird, and I'm the Chief of Party for the USAID Kenyan Investment Mechanism, and I'm really happy to be kicking this event off today. I want to first give some context to USAID's Kenyan Investment Mechanism and then set the stage for what's to come over the next few days. USAID's funded Kenyan Investment Mechanism is a development project that connects business opportunities with financing. Our primary objective is to activate private sector capital into underserved markets for development purposes and development objectives. We're looking to fill that gap between the supply and demand of financing. We help meet our capital mobilization objectives by strategic policy and regulatory reforms that further unlock capital. Now, as a development practitioner myself, what I find fascinating is the model that Kenyan Investment Mechanism uses to be able to stimulate the market. We call it pay for results, and here's how it works. We have partnered with 40 local business advisory service providers and 20 financial institutions with the objective of financing small to medium-sized enterprises. Pay for results means that there's an incentive fee available to those partners if, and only if, they're successful in securing that financing. It's kind of like a little nudge to both the supply side and the demand side of the market to make investments in these underserved markets, such as, for example, agriculture. You know, in Kenya, agriculture represents approximately 1/3 of the GDP, yet less than 4% of bank financing actually goes into the agricultural sector. And we also have an intentional focus in women and youth-owned enterprises because of its high potential growth opportunities. Now, what's really important to understand first is that this is private sector capital, not USAID money. Kenyan Investment Mechanism is not a fund, but a facilitator. Financing comes from banks and and from leasing companies, from private equity and social and impact investment funds. What we do is we help that supply side connect with the demand side in such a way that supports safety and soundness in finance and builds lasting market relationships that shift the financial ecosystem to operate both more efficiently and certainly sustainably. The pay-for-results model is really becoming an effective development tool. For example, last year, for every $1 of USAID support, the private sector dispersed $21.70 to small to medium-sized enterprises, or what we call a leverage ratio of 21.7 times. That's really good value in support for the private sector investments. September 30th marked the end of our third year, our third year. And Kenyan Investment Mechanism has helped the private sector advance over $285 million in both debt and equity investments. This has placed us well on our way to achieve a $520 million target of capital mobilized by year 5, which is August 2023. And this is not just about incentive fees. In fact, the fees themselves are generally 1%. So again, this is just a nudge. Where we also provide the assistance is with our partners for technical assistance in terms of capacity building, targeted training in agricultural financing, areas such as new product development that can mitigate risk and better match repayments to the enterprise's cash collection cycle. There are training of trainers programs that embed value chain financing techniques into financial institutions' curriculums. And we also can't underestimate the value of our policy work, working with both county and national government to build investors' confidence, improve the ease of doing business, and both promote and facilitate new investments that add jobs and smooth out the supply chains and distribution channels. Now, over the next few days, you'll hear from our partners and stakeholders how USAID's Kenyan Investment Mechanism excuse me. You'll hear over the next few days how USAID's Kenyan Investment Mechanism has engaged in the market. We will share with you what's working and what could be improved. Now, in collaboration with our partners, several case studies will be highlighted. In fact, our first session of the day, you'll hear from Jahil Oliver, founder and CEO of Hello Tractor, on an innovative pay-go financing model. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Now, while the learning event is not really about Kenyan Investment Mechanism's accomplishments, I really want to thank the Kenyan Investment Mechanism team for an outstanding year of performance. I want to thank them for their dedication and passion. Thank you so very much. I want to thank the Kenyan Investment Mechanism team for their dedication and passion to improve the financial ecosystem during a time that has really challenged us to create and innovate in order to stay true to our goals and objectives. More and more, we're seeing the effects of the climate change through droughts, floods, unpredictable weather patterns. We saw locusts in biblical proportions this last year. And of course, the challenges of COVID-19 have disrupted employment, supply chains, and distribution channels. I have watched this team each month pause and reflect on both what we do and how we do it. They connect with our partners and stakeholders to listen and learn and exchange ideas to innovate and adapt. And that's what this event is really all about, is to bring that all together. You know, as the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And we know that we can't do this alone. So we're very grateful to the collaboration and support of our partners and stakeholders for their passion and their dedication, and mostly for their perseverance over countless technical challenges that we have all been facing during this, the past couple of years. I also want to be able to thank USAID and the collaboration and support that that team has provided us. It is a collaboration and a journey that we are taking together. Now, regardless of these challenges or adversities, we collaborate, we learn, and we adapt together. And really, that's really why we're here at this learning event and what it's all about. You know, as humans, we're not capable of holding back our passion. We're not capable of holding back our vision or our creativity. We were born to learn, and we were born to adapt. And while we know we can't always get it right, we also know that the only failure is to not try at all. So thank you for joining us. I look forward to a lively exchange over the next few days, and welcome to this event.